And I feel like, yes, I did see Bonnie and I see Janelle's name, Patty, and I don't know these two cutie pies. Mickey, nice to meet you, Mickey. I've heard about you for sure.
Mickey's on my team.
Yes, she is.
Lucky me.
Yes, I love it. I love it. And then below Mickey is Dee Payton.
Oh, that's Danette.
Danette. Hi, Danette.
Hi, Megan.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Good
Well,
to
it was
meet
so
you.
funny. I went to turn my camera on and I realized I hadn't put a stitch of makeup on yet. So I just stopped and threw some on. And I love how you were saying anybody can do this, because that is the epitome of my life. You can see my office and you can, I mean, Tina's been in here anyway. So I am so excited. I'm like, I have like my adrenaline has gone up just by listening to Tina. And yeah, no, it's just like exciting. Like I always say, Tina raises the bar for me as a person, for my personal life and my family life and my spousal life and my business life. Like you guys have the best of the best as your leader. And you guys know that because she's truly incredible and just a blessing to me and everyone who is ever in your space. Tina, wow, to call you my best girlfriend is like so exciting because I've just, anyway, seen her from afar for such a long time. And now she's my bestie. We sleep together. She puts up with my snoring sometimes. So if I snore, I don't really snore that much anymore.
You're good. Got that handled. Got the fan, the earplug. We're good.
Anyway, all right. Well, I want to get to my training, and I am passionate. I really am passionate about supporting consultants and directors of having this, to creating this long-term sustainable business. And I know we have short-term goals. You guys have a huge goal to finish up 500,000. Terry's going to debut as an offspring sales director. And I know there's more in the pipeline. Joanne, love you so much. Okay. Anyway, so you guys have a lot happening right now. And so you have this premise. And what I also want to what I want to support you with is this thing about how to actually be putting money in your pocket. Because I feel like when you have money in your pocket and you're literally, I mean, every time we sell something, we make money, but you know what I'm talking about, to actually have the money in your pocket. I think that generates just a natural organic flow of team building, because you're not having to pressure anybody into it, because you just last week pocketed $500 and you're going to teach your new person how to do the same. And, most people recruit closest to the product, right? So that's where you're really going to start to look at who is your next team member. So I encourage you to go back over the last 4 to 6 weeks, who has purchased products from you, and then look at those people individually and ask 3 questions. Do you like her? Does she like the product? And number 3, would you be upset if somebody else recruited her? Like, those are the 3 questions that you ask. And if you like her and she likes the product, it doesn't mean that she's had to have purchased a ton of products from you, but she likes the products. And the third thing is, yeah, I would be upset if somebody else recruited her. Then it's your just job description to share the Mary Kay opportunity with her. It may or may not be for her. In fact, more than likely, more people that you share the opportunity with, it's not going to be for them. Okay. So you just flat out say that. It's very super simple. So that's where I would start with your team building, is look at those 3. And as Tina just challenged you to sell $600 this week, remember, like, you have to force yourself. Like, this is what I had to do. And I have to do this right now. So when I sell a product, I sold a bunch of products to Linda Johnston just yesterday. All right. So I look at Linda. Do I like her? Does she like the product? And would I be upset if somebody else recruited her? I have to dare myself to scare myself to dare myself, whatever you say there, to say, hey, Linda, I know this is probably not anything you would ever consider for yourself, but I love the fact that you have been loving your Mary Kay, and I would love to buy you a cup of coffee. share with you a little bit about how Mary Kay works, knowing full well it's probably not for you, but you could be a great talent scout for me. You are the type of person that I'm looking for. Is there any reason why we couldn't get together today or tomorrow? I'll buy you a cup of coffee at your favorite coffee shop, or I'll talk to you over the phone. What, however you want to do that. I know you guys are all kind of spread out everywhere, but sit down with Tina. I mean, how fun is it just to sit at a coffee shop? This is my personal opinion. I love sitting at a coffee shop and doing back to back team building and sharing appointments, like just back to back. And they just come through. If that doesn't work for you, just dare yourself to scare yourself. Each person that has purchased products from you in the last 4 to 6 weeks, you know what? I just got off a conference call with this crazy gal in Montana, and she challenged me to share about our Mary Kay opportunity with these women that I really love or I really like, and I really like you. It's been fun getting to know you. The other one is Tanya. Tanya Reinhardt just bought products from me. So I need to call up Tanya, text Tanya and say, hey, Tanya, gosh, I've known you for such a long time, and I would love just to sit down and share with you about how Mary Kay works, knowing full well it's probably not for you. But, can I buy you a cup of coffee? If we can't buy a cup of coffee, could I be over the telephone or over Zoom with you, and I'll give you any item that you would love at half price? Okay, just simple like that. Like, be on a mission, like a dog on a bone, that you're going to go through with every single person 4 to 6 weeks that has purchased products with you, knowing full well that it's probably not for you. But if you go through the statistics, if you go through even sharing with 10 people, you're probably going to have yourself a couple team members, and not even trying, but just doing that. Does that make sense, guys? So I think that is building that long-term sustainable business. I just had a business debut with my new personal team member. And the reason I'm so adamant about this long-term sustainable business, and this is not something that I'm proud of, but I am proud of the fact that Mary Kay has this to offer. I recruited a girl just recently, personal team member, Bridget Beausoleil, with an $1,800 wholesale order. She came in as a star. We did her business debut yesterday. She is my first personal team member that has come in, to run the business, not just to get their products at a discount or, something like that. She's my first personal team member that I have since 2016. That's long-term sustainable business. I have maintained Premier Club status. I'm not proud. I want to be a Cadillac, obviously, but I've maintained Premier Club status. I've maintained all of that, like a decent income. Do you know what I'm saying, guys? So this business works when you want it, when you work, when you can, so that when you can't, or you've got issues going on, like I've got some issues, like Cindy Williams says, come on, issues, let's go book a party, like that. I said, come on, issues, let's go take a nap. Okay. Anyway, Tina, tell me, what do you have? Do you have
No,
a question?
I was just going to say, and you are like, you and Mike are both breadwinners in your family. Like you do this this is your job to support your family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Right.
I know how to do this, guys. I know there's a lot of things I don't know how to do, but I do know how to do this. And I love recruiting people that want to work this business. Okay. I love, love, love. How many of you guys can? Yes, love that. All right. So with Bridget, I want to share with you guys that she was a referral from a consultant going out of business. She's been buying one moisturizer from me, a Time Wise, the old school fashion Time Wise moisturizer. That is all that she's bought from me for years. And the last time I went to go deliver every single product, you guys, I wrap it in tissue. You guys know this. I make them feel like $1 million, no matter if it's an eyeshadow or if it's a moisturizer or it's a repair set. I went and I had to drive, you guys, I'll never forget. I was on the phone with my friend Shelly, and I'm like, I'm driving out to Belgrade, which is literally a 30-minute drive for me. I'm driving out to deliver an age-fighting moisturizer for $28 to Bridget Beausoleil. This was last fall. And I got there, and this is the first time she invited me to her home. She has a new home. So you guys, I want you just to be, I'm wanting you guys to think differently. So I want you to be thinking about your customers. I don't want you to be just listening to my story, but think about some people in your life that are your customers that maybe are just buying one thing from you. Because I'm going to tell you another story. But I drove out there, and she invited me to her home for the very first time because she had been living. She's a single mom. She has 2 little kiddos. And I went out there, and I went in, and it's a townhouse she's renting it. She's so proud of it. And she let me come into her house, and I gave her moisturizer. And here's something that my director, Senior Rosemary Neal, used to say to me. This is what we would do. It's like you'd hand her the product, and it's just kind of like it sounds kind of like it's scripted, but it really isn't scripted. It's just kind of like, it just kind of becomes, so it doesn't feel pressureful, like what Tina was saying. So I turn towards the door, and I turn back around, and I go, Bridget, have you ever thought about doing something like what I do? And she goes, oh, I don't know if I could. I don't know. She just admitted to me on Saturday she had been thinking of it. She had been thinking about it. But they're not going to say that to you. Okay. So I want you guys to know. And I said, have you ever thought about doing something like this part-time or on the side to make some extra money? And she goes, well, now that I've moved out here, I have to quit my second job, and I kind of am looking for something. So I said, okay, well, I'd love to buy you coffee and share with you about the Mary Kay, like how it could fit in. I don't know if it's for you. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'd just love to share with you. She goes, okay. I said, I'll call you, we'll go to lunch. Well, I never did. How many of you guys have ever done that? Drop the ball. Meg Springer never did. Okay. So December comes around. Guess what? She's ordering that dadgum moisturizer again. Okay. So, okay, Bridget, I'll bring it to you. This time it's at work. It's still in Belgrade, but I had other deliveries, so it was okay. And I stopped by, and I said, oh my gosh, Bridget, I know I kind of talked to you about maybe getting together to share a little bit about the opportunity. Is that something you still might be interested in? She goes, yeah, I've actually been thinking about it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. I go to leadership conference. I sleep in the bed with Tina. Have I contacted Bridget yet? No. I get done at leadership conference. I'm like, Meg, what the hey? So I text her, can I buy you coffee? Can I buy you lunch? She said, yes, this Saturday, whatever. The rest is history. She joins Mary Kay. It definitely took a couple of layers. It takes about 7 layers for people, but you can be like me, or you can be like way smarter than me and actually follow up. And, and I'm so grateful because I'm just so grateful. And she's a part of, I'm doing a devotion. Some of you guys have gotten this book, and her faith is being elevated. She is, I want to cry. On Saturday, she has excellent credit. She's living with her 2 little kiddos, and she had excellent credit. She got the Mary Kay credit card. She was able, I'm not selling her. I'm not going to go all out to sell her half price on her skincare. Good Lord. I'm selling her on becoming a director. I want her to be a leader. I want her life changed. Her skin is going to change in the process, but I want her life changed through that. So grateful that she hung with me. And so I'm going to ask you, who are you passing by? Wendy Lecterhand, 1,000 years ago, I was a struggling director. I was on and off my first year as a director. So this is right in the midst of it. And I put out a sale, and it was a beat the clock sale. And this girl was another referral for me from a consultant going out of business. You guys, please, if you have team members and they're going out of business, make sure that you're harnessing and asking, how can you take over their customers? How can you be supportive? You know what I'm saying? Okay. And so I sent a postcard to her, 40% off or whatever. She orders a Whisper Pink eyeshadow. Guys, this was in 2000. This was like maybe 2001. And I think they might be $4.50. I'm not sure. But I'm like, okay, Whisper Pink, anything else? She's like, nope, that's it today. I was like, oh my gosh. But I remembered, do I like her? Does she like the product? Would I be upset if she joined somebody else's team? That's from Dawn Dunn. That's from 1,000 years ago. Dawn Dunn has taught that on a tape from 1,000 years ago, those 3 questions. And so I packaged up that Whisper Pink eyeshadow, tissue, candy, ribbon, like all of that cost more than the profit I made on that I mean, I didn't make any profit, right? Anyway, she comes and picks up this Whisper Pink eyeshadow. And as luck would have it, she would get, what do you call that? Pink eye. She got pink eye from her kids a week or 2 later. And she said, oh, Meg, I got pink eye. I need to replace now all of my eye products. So I went over to her house. I delivered her products to her house. I know it's easy to pop everything in the mail. I know it's easy, but I took the time to drive to her house to get her eyeshadow. And as I walked out the door, I did exactly what Rosemary said. I walked out the door. I turned back around. And I said, Wendy, have you ever thought about doing something like what I do? And she goes, well, actually, yes. And her husband was right there. And the rest is history. Wendy Lecterhand went on to earn a car. She recruited Cheryl Sheedy and Lisa Wendt, who are both my First Line Offspring sales directors, from a freaking Whisper Pink eyeshadow at 40% off. So who are we not sharing the opportunity with? And I'm saying me too. So I want to challenge you guys, each one reach one. All of you that are on here right now, there's 10 of us on. How about this week, each one of us reach one, each one of us recruit somebody as you're selling your products, as we're doing the nature of this. This is not what I was going to talk about, by the way, 0. But what I'm telling you, you guys, we can all do this, because I have been issued a challenge in my unit to double my unit size by the end of September, or by the end of June. Double. We have 81 unit members. 81 new unit members in the next 2 months.
Wow.
Because we're looking at 600,000 worldwide from the company, and we're halfway there. And we have 2 months left. So we're halfway there at 2/3 of the way. We still have 1/3 of the way. So an issue from Deb Ware, National Sales Director, to me was to double my unit size by the end of June.
Wow.
Can she do it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you guys. So I'm daring myself to scare myself to ask those Tanya and Linda who had just purchased products from me. I just got another order from somebody too. Who was it? Oh, my friend Jamie. I could ask her. She's a dentist. I don't know. I could ask her, right? You just never know if I'm going to do that. And she might know somebody that it would be great at. Okay. So that's what I have to say about long-term sustainability. I did send Tina. Did you guys get this?
I'm going to
Tina
put it
will
up right
post
now,
it.
Meg. I'm going to put it up right now.
All right. So these are results you can expect. And this is the big old deal, guys. Look at this. And I would encourage you to print a copy of this and have this at your team building appointments. Remember, if you're sitting down and sharing about the Mary Kay opportunity with people, don't be selling them on half price off their own products. Who cares about that, guys? You're not going to build an empire by having a bunch of people ordering their products at half price. You want people building people, building people, building people, building businesses, and creating long-term sustainable businesses for themselves. My goal is for each of you guys to make a 6-figure income. How many of you guys would love that? How many of you guys would love to earn a 6-figure income and help other women earn 6-figure incomes right now? Gives choices, all of the things. But look at here. Let's just start at one. Let's just go over the results that you can expect. This is a guideline based on averages. Obviously, individual results will vary based on individual time and effort. Nothing is guaranteed, but if you put in the activity outline below, it's reasonable to expect the results. So the number of guests at your parties will range 3 to 6, average of 4. Our goal is always to have 6 people at a party around the table. Average sales, you guys, 175. We know that is low. Our averages are way, way higher than that for our parties. Average reorder per customer is 157 per year. That's taking into account somebody who orders head to toe and somebody orders a mascara or a moisturizer or a Whisper Pink eyeshadow once in a while. We retain about 85% of our customers, and that's through the preferred customer program. That's doing the follow-up, the 3+3+3. You guys all know this information. You interview 2 people from each class. I'm going to talk to you guys about the huge thing that we forget about, which is called the 4-point recruiting plan. I'm going to go over that in just a second. 1 out of 4 interviews are going to join your team. Look at, guys, if people only have 2 to 3 hours each week, share with them how they can be holding 1 party each week and look at the results. After a year, a long-term sustainable business. Yes, she's going to be making money right away, but our goal is to have that long-term sustainable business. We want our team members after a year having skincare customers. There would be no reason they would leave Mary Kay because they're making money. It's just an easy avenue. Think about this. A lot of people are looking for second avenues, third avenues of income. It's called residual income. This is an opportunity where you can sit down as a business professional, share with someone about an option for them about another avenue of residual income. There's people buying properties, doing VRBOs. That's a lot of work. You know what I mean? That's a lot of work doing that. And I'm not dismaying that, but you have to have the money to invest in the property. Here, guys, if somebody comes in with a full store of inventory, say it's at the most $5,000. I'm just saying at the very most, an investment of $5,000, they start to create this long-term sustainable business where, look at, guys, your profit at the end of 1 year, just by holding that 1 party each week, is $11,000. Just by 1 party a week, and then having the reorders coming through as well. Do you guys have any questions about that? Just that 1 party, 1 class each week for a month. Look at, if you're doing 3 parties a week, that's an extra $33,000 in profit of income. Do you know that the average woman in America today, her average income, and I know you guys live in Seattle where the tech world is, but I'm just going to tell you what the average woman is making just shy of $40,000 a year before taxes.
Wow.
Okay, just shy of 40,000. It's like 39 something. We have an opportunity here for women to absolutely live by what they value most, what they love, to have freedom and flexibility and make an awesome income and looking great, looking great and having positiveness in their life. Isn't it amazing? So I encourage you to have this. I would encourage you absolutely to have copies of this so that you can give this to your potential recruits, because she's going to take this home and lay it down on the kitchen table, and her husband, significant other, may look at it and go, what the heck? Why aren't you doing Mary Kay if this is what you can make? Does this make sense, you guys?
Yeah.
Any questions there?
This is awesome, Meg. This is
This
such
is-
a good, like, because we've been talking about how national average right now, the side hustle is really there to bring in $200 is what people are looking for extra, $200
Wow.
a month. And we can offer so much more, but how 2 hours, week in and week out, plus and this also accounts for the reorders, which is something I don't think we talk about enough. Amazing, right? That's sustainable. But it really breaks it down to someone who wants to replace an income or the $200 a month.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is really good.
I love it. I love it so much because a lot of people around here, Bozeman's real expensive place to live, like the average house price. And this is Montana, guys. This is not, I just saw the average price of the house is just under $900,000. And people are not making that kind of money here. This is just a great side hustle. People need an extra $520 some a month right now just to maintain their standard of living that they had a couple of years ago because of inflation. So this is just a great way. And, and here's what I want to share with you guys, like you gals right here that are seasoned consultants. This business is not tough. It isn't tough. It's very simple. And there's a few skills that you just have to learn. A few skills. One of them is customer service and doing the follow-up and just creating a system. I'm not here to share with you the system. You create the system, talk to Tina about the system, and then actually doing the work, like making the phone calls. The more people you touch, the more people that you talk with, the more people you connect with each day, the more solid your business is going to be. Okay. It's just a matter of reaching out and touching people and talking to people, and then being brave enough to say, what is the next step with this person? And then following through. Okay. Let me talk to you guys about this 4-point recruiting plan, because you're going to be doing parties. You're going to be doing get-togethers, even if it's a facial. And I think we've lost this whole thing about the 4-point recruiting plan. Okay. So as you're providing excellent customer service and developing these lasting friendships with customers, they're naturally going to be curious about what you do, especially when you show up at their door and you're dressed a little differently. I'm really big on image and just showing up with a dress on. That was another thing Bridget said. She goes, you always have the cutest little outfits on. You're always dressed. You know what I mean? Like, that's your signature. That's going to be like how people know you and how you show up. So don't be afraid to offer a great opportunity. Remember, it's a gift and should be treated accordingly. This is a gift. And that's why I want to ask you those 3 questions. Do you like her? Because if you don't like her, guys, don't recruit her, because I'm not going to like her either. If you don't like her, I'm not going to like her. Tina's not going to like
work with her. Yeah.
And we don't want to work with them. Okay. So remember, this is a gift. It's a beautiful gift. Okay.
Oh my God.
And should be treated accordingly. Appointments are a great place to find prospective team members. As you're working or growing your business, the 4-point recruiting plan developed personally by Mary Kay Ash will be an important tool to use. Okay. So number 1, when you get there at the hostess's party, even if it's your hostess plus 2, if it's your hostess plus 1, before the skincare party, you're going to be setting up and getting everything together. And then I would say, hey, Tina, who's coming today who you think would be great at doing what I do? Who's coming today who you think would be great at doing what I do? Okay. And then you just kind of nonchalantly go back to filling your mirrors and trays. Hey, Tina, who's coming today who you think would be great at doing what I do? Tina's going to go, oh, you know what? Joanne's looking, Joanne really loves makeup. Joanne really loves makeup. And I go, oh, great. And hopefully I've pre-profiled her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love Joanne. She was full of spunk. Like, yeah, she was great. Well, Michelle, you know what I mean? And maybe Tina's going to say, Michelle, I think maybe Michelle, and I'm going to say, oh yeah, I loved meeting her. She was just so precious. I loved meeting her too on the phone when I was doing the texting. Whoever she says, she might even say, oh, I don't think anybody. And that's probably what most people are going to say. Oh, I don't think anybody. Because they don't want to, like do their friends, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if she says everybody or she says nobody. You're going to just look at her and you're going to go, well, what about you? Well, Tina, what about you? And she's going to go, oh, no. I could never do that. No. And you go, you know what? It's fine. Why don't you watch what I do today and see if it looks like something fun? And I'd love to share with you at the end of the appointment. Okay. So who's coming today who you think would be great at doing what I do? What about you? Why don't you watch what I do today and see if it's anything you would ever consider for yourself? Drop it. Second thing, as you're going through your flip chart, you're going to share your I story. And the goal is to share, they always say a 2-minute I story. Work on having your I story 1 minute. You got to work. This is a skill. It's practice. Practice, and say it out loud. Say it into your memos on your phone so you can listen back and hear what you have to say. Short, and keep it short and sweet and to the point. Here's it little. You have your antennas up. So what I do at a party is I'll say, tell me a little bit about you and how you know Tina, or tell one sugar sharp thing about Tina. Okay. And you kind of want to gear your I story. So if you're sitting around with a bunch of people who are empty nesters, I'm not going to sit around and talk about being a stay-at-home mom. Okay. If I'm around a bunch of college kids, I'm not going to be talking about being a stay-at-home mom. You know what I mean? Like, you got to gear your I story so that people are listening to what it is. It's not like you're making up something, but you want to be relevant to your audience. Okay. So when you share your I story, present your heartfelt I story, be sure to include why you began your Mary Kay business and what it means to you. And even have a picture of something that you're working towards, and make it tangible, make it a ring, make it a car, make it something like that, not DIQ or leadership or whatever, because people just in the real world don't understand all of that. Just something tangible, have a picture of that. All right, next I'm going to offer a special gift. So what I say is that when I get done with my I story, I say, in fact, you know what? Mary Kay used to always say that there's a brand new beauty consultant in every party. And I totally believe that myself. Who do you think it might be? And it's awkward. It's awkward. But you just say, who do you think it would be? Bite your tongue. And then they're going to point and they're going to go, oh, Joanne would be good. Okay. So you just like Joanne. Okay. So now I have Tina, my hostess, and I have Joanne that's sitting around the table. Everybody points to Joanne and you go, I don't know if it's anything you would ever consider, but why don't you watch what I do today and see if it looks like something fun? I'd love to share some more information at the end of the party. Why don't you, I don't know if it's for you or not, but why don't you watch what I do today? I'd love to share with you a little something at the end of the party. In fact, you know what, for most people, it's not for them, but I actually have a special gift that if you know somebody that you're referred to me who comes in as a qualified team member, I'll have a special gift for you. So that's the third thing. You offer a gift, special gift. All right. And then lastly, I'm going to choose at least 2 people while I'm doing my individual closings. I don't do a ticket game to share about the Mary. I don't do that. It's just something I've never learned. And I know a lot of people do. I just don't do it that way. So I just get into selling the product. I do my I story. Why don't you watch what I do? So I want you to use this analogy. Think about this analogy. This was from Thea Elvin, National Sales Director Emeritus. She said, if you were boarding a plane and the flight attendant said to you, hey, have you ever thought about doing something like what I do as you're boarding the plane, right? And you go, oh no, or maybe you go, well, kind of, maybe. And then she says to you, why don't you watch what I do today and see if it looks like something fun? And then at the end of the flight, I'd love to share with you more information. What are you doing during that flight? Are you
Listening
watching
to
her?
every word.
Yes, you're doing this, you're going, I could do this. And pretty soon you're traveling around the world in your head and you've got the whole thing. So the same concept is true because they're going to be thinking, maybe I could do what you do. So while I'm doing the individual consultation, my goal at every party is to select at least 2 people, the hostess and at least 1 more. And if like minds think alike, they're going to be the same, birds of a feather flock together. You may have a whole table of people that you would love to share the Mary Kay opportunity with. And I would just be sincere. I close the sale. I close the second appointment. Lastly, I would say, Joanne, you know, when everybody pointed to you that you would be the next Mary Kay beauty consultant. Kind of crazy, huh? Well, listen, I know it's probably not anything for you, but I just would love to treat you to a cup of coffee. And if we can't get together, maybe just over the phone, I could share with you some facts about Mary Kay. If it's not for you, then you could be a great talent scout for me. And I'd have that special gift for you if there's somebody that you refer to me. Okay. And that's just
Do
how
that.
you do it. Okay.
Sure.
Really super simple. You just heart to heart and just say, I don't know if this would be anything you would ever consider. Okay. So that's the 4-point recruiting plan. You guys can do this. You can absolutely do this. You're going to be rowing a boat. You're going to be selling the product, sharing the product, and sharing the Mary Kay opportunity. You don't want to be going just around in a circle just by selling the product, sharing the product. You want to be doing both. And those are 2 avenues of income for you guys. This is just showing you one avenue of income. You start doing team building, and it sounds like Terry's going to be sharing with you guys the commission structure that we have for team building. I mean, it's a win-win. It is an absolute win-win situation. So, okay, I think I'm out of time.
Meg, that was awesome. Awesome. That was incredible. And I love how how you get going and then like your genius takes over and you just share so authentically. And thank you for your vulnerability today as well, for just showing you know, that all of us can do this and be successful, but also that you've created over 30 years a sustainable business that stands when you have to pivot and deal with other things in your life. So I thank you so much. I just want to open it up for just a couple of minutes to have y'all share with Meg something that either touched you or moved you, or something that you got, something that you're going to implement for her, just like a little thank you for Meg, because I know words are important to her. So I'm just going to open it up for a couple minutes.
Hey, Meg, I'll jump in here. I work with Joanne. Joanne's a great friend of mine, and she's talked about you a lot in the past. I grew up in Bozeman, so
Oh my
it was
goodness.
a long time ago. But when you admitted to us that you forgot to put on makeup before you turned on your video, spoke directly to me of what Tina was saying about be real. It makes you human. So thank you for, as Tina said, your authenticity.
Sometimes too much. It's called TMI, but yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Mickey.
I totally second that, Mickey. That's absolutely. I love you, Meg. And you know, I think many nuggets here, but one that sticks out in my mind is just looking at your customers, no matter what they buy from you. You know, it could be something minuscule like that whisper pink eyeshadow, but you don't know what they're thinking. Just stop prejudging, you know, and that's what we all do. We prejudge. And I love the way you just genuinely offer. You're not trying to rope anybody in. I just love the way you say, you know, this is probably not for you, you know, but hey, why not listen? So thank you for getting us to think outside the box of, oh, they're a customer. Maybe they could be a team member, you know. Yeah.
Thanks, Joanne. I love you too. Fun to meet Mickey and see in real life too. Adorable.
She's going to seminars, so we'll get to spend lots of time. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much today for, well, always, Meg. I love listening and learning from you. And I'm so thankful to have Tina as my director, and then also get to have the opportunity to be in your space. I'm so appreciative of both of you. More than I can express. So, and Tina knows, oh my gosh, anyway. So one of the things, it's like, where you said back to back to back at a location for the interviews, it's like, that's fantastic. I don't know. I have to go a ways to get anywhere that has a coffee shop. But yeah, that's fantastic. I love that. And then who am I passing by? Just as Joanne had mentioned, it's like, oh, absolutely. And I so appreciate that information about, you know, that sheet. Anyway, yeah. So I need that sheet today, Tina.
Yeah, I'm going to put it up. Should I just put it up on our Facebook?
Oh, fantastic. So I'll take a screenshot and I'm going to send that to someone who I just spoke with just yesterday and to help her see. And she's a longtime customer that would be fantastic. So many things. And again, also that I'd forgotten where you know, it's like you kind of leave and you pause for a moment. And that's in that moment is where I would find that courage to just turn back. It's like, oh, I'd forgotten all about that. So thank you so much for that as well. There's so many nuggets, and yeah. And I need to for sure this week be on a mission like a bone with a dog.
Yes.
Yeah, a dog with a bone. There we go. Be on a mission like a dog with a bone for sure between now and the end of the month. So thank you for that too. Have that visual.
I love it. And Terry, I don't know if you know this or not, but my last week of DIQ to become a director back in the day, I needed 13 people. And I needed 13. And I had the production all done. I had all of that taken care of, but I needed 13 people. And I was a dog on a bone, just asking every single person, anybody that would have ever bought one little stitch of any Mary Kay from me. and just pouring into them and seeing if they would want to help me for the win. Would they want to be that? And that's not something that you can sustain, but it's like when it's go time, and then you have that momentum, and you just have to know next month that you're, what I mean? Then you can start the 4-point recruiting plan and all that kind of stuff, but sit down. And I learned that from Penny Walker. She's a sister sales director. She was going through DIQ at the same time I was. She just plopped herself down at Applebee's. Like, we didn't have a lot of coffee shops back then. And she plopped herself down at Applebee's, and they had appointments every hour on the hour, just people coming into Applebee's, and she just paid the waiter like, hey, I'm going to be here all day. I'll give you a good tip, but yeah, back to back people.
Really